Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RevolveRecap podcast, where we help the people of Revolve Church, New Jersey, know about what's going on. This is the worst intro ever, but you know the deal. It's Billy, it's David. We're here to talk about Revolve.
We're not trying to impress you.
No. If we would, I'd eat better and run more. But this is what you get. Old Davey and my good pal Billy.
Hey guys, this is Pastor Bill, and you know what? I'm excited because it's the beginning of the Advent season. 'Tis the season.
Oh, man.
Cue jingle bells. Close enough.
You know, Corey asked me this morning, he says, why do you love Christmas so much and you can't give the Jesus answer? And I'm like, well, that's kind of like a big part of it.
And you're like, it's the cookies.
Well, I was like, well, you know, Jesus is like, it's the greatest thing ever.
He's the reason for the cookies.
Yeah. I said, but if you know, the cookies are pretty good as well. So, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad that you tuned in today. And we started a new segment last week. We don't know what it's called yet, but it's Pastor Bill responds to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Do you have something catchier?
Maybe we should ask ChatGPT.
Oh, jeez. You've asked it.
You tell them while I'm asking ChatGPT what we should name our segment.
Okay. What am I doing? So we've been working on some good questions here. We're trying to keep you entertained here with ChatGPT, and I think I came up with a great question. And I think it's appropriate for the season, and I think it may be helpful to our listeners and Pastor Bill all at once. And the question that I have for ChatGPT is, can you give me 10 Christmas present ideas for my pastor that are under $100? We don't want to break the bank here, you know, but we also don't want to get chintzy, getting Pastor Bill a $20 gift card to, you know, the Sizzly. What's it called? What's the buffet? Sizzler?
David, I have no idea.
Oh, whatever.
Hold on a second. Before we do this, we got to name our section of the podcast. Okay. So I just asked ChatGPT.
Okay.
What should we name this section of the podcast where we do like Pastor Reacts?
Okay. And what were the choices? And then you guys can vote.
These are terrible. Holy Hot Takes with Pastor Chuckle.
Holy Hot Takes with Pastor Chuckle. Oh my gosh, that's going to become your new nickname. Pastor Chuckles. Here he is.
Divine Dialogue. Pastor LOL edition.
Okay.
The Sacred Snicker.
Snicker.
Pastor Reacts. Sermon Sarcasm. I don't think ChatGPT understood what I was asking.
No, but I do like that Pastor Chuckle.
Pious Punchlines. Pastor Unplugged.
Oh, Pious Punchlines. Okay.
Anyway, okay, David, I'm ready. I'm ready for my pastor gifts. 'Tis the season to buy me a gift.
Okay, so here we go. ChatGPT came up with 10 present ideas.
I'm going to tell you if they're good ideas or bad ideas.
Okay. A personalized Bible cover. A custom Bible cover with their name.
Like Pastor Chuckle.
Yeah, personalized. So I think it should be handmade.
It's not your idea. It's ChatGPT's idea.
I'm just saying, if ChatGPT gave me this suggestion, what I would do is I would hand make you, and then I would write so people would know Pastor B. Lackey, Pastor Blackie.
My mom used to always sign my books B. Lackey, and the kids would call me Blackie.
Wow, you would definitely get canceled.
Yeah, that was 2023.
Yeah,
my whole family would get canceled.
Yeah, I know. Okay, a coffee gift set, a high quality coffee blend or set of gourmet coffee along with a stylish mug. Now, I don't
need more mugs.
No.
I don't need more mugs.
Unless it says Pastor Chuckles on it.
Unless it says... Oh, my gosh.
You're going to get so many mugs.
I do think that coffee is a good gift. Googie always brings me coffee back from Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. I also have, like, 4 or 5 different Stanley mugs.
Okay.
You know, so, I mean, mugs are cool.
Good.
Coffee's good.
Coffee's good. A devotional book.
I think a personalized Bible cover is kind of cheesy.
Okay.
No offense if you have one.
Okay. A devotional book.
No.
If
you buy me a devotional book, you don't know me.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Unless it's like a Chuck Norris devotional book.
Nope, because then it's just I'm gonna keep it on the back of my toilet.
Okay. No devotional books. Customized stationery. I like that. Personalized notepads or stationery.
I already have personalized notepads.
Yeah, but what if you run out?
I'm not gonna run out. I'd have to write like 6 million what do they call thank you cards?
Well, maybe you should start.
Well,
Maybe that's a gift. Maybe
Pastor
that's an idea.
Chuckle's not thankful.
Indoor plants. Small, low maintenance indoor plants to bring a touch of nature to your office or home.
I mean, if it was a gift for Jen, get Jen an indoor plant.
That's good. Religious artwork. A
No.
framed piece of religious
Nope.
artwork. Oh,
Negative.
what if it's an artwork like of a storm or a fish
If it's like
bought from a local congregant?
if you want to buy like a 8-foot original from David
Oh
McCumber,
man, that would be
he'll pay his mortgage.
a
3
Christmas
months.
miracle. So, but just so you know, we are running a sale at McCumberFineArt.com all this week.
Not
So,
religious artwork.
okay, a quality pen
Nope.
for note taking or journaling.
Nope. I use Revolve pens exclusively.
Subscription to a
Hey, what is
Christian-
this? It's not even a Revolve pen.
A subscription to a Christian magazine.
Oh, these are terrible ideas.
Relevant. I'm gonna get you a
If you get Christianity Today's woke, relevant is woke.
okay.
I won't. Nope. Won't read them. Won't do
A
it.
Christian cookbook with a spiritual
What
twist.
is a Christian cookbook? Like different ways to make communion bread?
No, I had a cookbook.
A cookbook? You are a cookbook.
I had a book one time called "What Would Jesus Eat," and it
my
was all like
goodness.
fish recipes.
You know, instead of getting me a cookbook about what Jesus eat, how about someone just volunteers to be my personalized chef, and they just cook me all my meals?
how about just a gift certificate to like the Sizzler, or
There's
like?
not even a sizzler in your. Go on, keep going.
All right, this is the last one, and I think it's actually probably the best one. A handwritten letter of appreciation. Express your gratitude with a heartfelt handwritten letter, sharing what your guidance means to you and the community. And I'll just add in maybe throwing in some cash.
Well, I think that a handwritten letter is a great idea, especially if it's intentional, personal, and it's not just like, "Hey, thanks, Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
Like if it actually gives like a something that.
What if it says, "Bill, you're my favorite
No,
elder.
no, no. I want it. I
You're
want,
better than David."
Well, that would be very specific. So I'd like that.
Yes.
But if it was something like, "Hey, God did this in my life last year, this
Yes.
past year," or something like that, those would be good.
Yeah.
But most of these ideas are terrible.
Most
and
of
it's
them?
like
All of
he
them.
went on ChristianBook.com and was like, "What are really bad Christian pastor gifts?"
Well, so you're striking out today there.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. But a
ChatGPT.
handwritten letter of appreciation with some cash or a gift card so Billy could take his wife on a date. That would be nice. All right, the next question we're going to ask ChatGPT is a little bit more serious, and I think probably get some better answers from this. But the question is, can you give me 10 ways to have a spiritually meaningful December, focusing on Jesus' birth in the midst of a busy season? So that's a pretty common question, I think, that people would ask, right?
Especially because a lot of us have busy seasons.
Beezy? My kids are all about this Bee movie now. Remember the old Seinfeld movie that came out?
Oh,
that
yeah,
was like
I remember
horrible?
that.
Yeah, they love it.
Okay.
All right, so this is what ChatGPT says. This is some advice. Daily Advent reflections. Set aside a few minutes each day for Advent reflections. You can
Okay.
use a devotional guide or read passages from the Bible.
Yeah, I think it's good advice.
That's good advice, right? Create a nativity scene. Set up a nativity scene in your home, and as you arrange each figure, take time to reflect on the significance of each character in the story.
Like this donkey. This donkey is so. Yeah, I mean, we have a nativity that we do with the kids when we remember to do it.
Yeah, but I think
we have one for
I think
sure.
talking about each character is kind of funny. I've never
This
thought about that.
donkey.
I think that's good because that's something you can do as a family.
Yeah, I
It's like,
agree.
that anything you can do as a family is good. Serve others. I think that's a good one.
Well, like what kind of service?
Well, it says practice the spirit of giving by volunteering or helping those in need. It could be as simple as helping a neighbor or volunteering at a local charity.
Okay, that's
Again.
good advice. Keeping some service there in the Christmas spirit with
Yeah,
the family.
So it's not so selfish. Give
Yep.
me type stuff. A Christmas carol meditation. Sing or listen to Christmas carols that focus on the birth of Jesus. Pay attention to the lyrics and let them guide your thoughts towards the spiritual significance of Christmas.
All right, we're about to have a rant.
Oh,
No, we're a rant.
holy night.
Because David and I are going to get in a fight probably.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
David loves Christmas music.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And I despise all Christmas music that isn't Christ-centered. So, like, as soon as Thanksgiving was over, Emma was like, Alexa, play Christmas pop. And I just wanted to rip my ears off my head. Like, in my opinion...
When that Bieber song comes on.
And it's like, whatever it might be, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. All like those classic Christmas songs. Yeah. They drive me nuts. Yeah. In my opinion, it needs to be... Like, if it's, oh, come all you faithful, or, oh, holy night, whatever. But as soon as it starts being like, I saw Mama kissing Santa Claus, I want to throw something.
Wow.
And so I like the idea of having Christmas Carol meditation. A couple favorite albums of ours. Andrew Peterson's album, Behold the Lamb of God. Good Christmas album. Sovereign Grace's album, Prepare Him Room. Good Christmas album. Those are two of my favorites that keep Christ focused, keep Christ-centered. What about you?
I really love that Mariah Carey.
Oh, that's a good album.
All I want for.
Oh, my goodness.
I always sing that song in the car, and I try to hit that high note.
Yeah.
I never can.
You probably do. You just don't realize it.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do it on the podcast.
I was listening to it this morning. I like the Charlie Brown Christmas.
I know
the
you
jazz
do.
trio
You
one.
love it. Oh, he loves it.
So I do like that one. Okay, so if I have to be Christian, my Christian answer, can I just
you could just say your favorite Christmas album if you want me to use.
I like the Sia Christmas album.
Sia has a Christmas album?
She's got two.
What's it called? Chandeliers of Christmas or something like that?
Yeah, Chandelier Christmas. And then I like the...
she's got a good voice.
I like the King of Country. Is it King of Country?
Yeah, King of Country's got a good Christmas album.
I like that. Their little drummer boy. I like to watch the YouTube video of that from like the CMAs or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So... Christmas Carol meditation.
Okay,
a family
next.
advent calendar. Create an advent calendar with daily activities that bring the family together.
Create an advent? Come on. I said I was busy, ChatGPT. You think I have time to create an advent calendar? I bought a Lego advent calendar. That's has nothing to do with Jesus.
Okay, well then limit distractions. Number 6, simplify your schedule and limit distractions to create moments of stillness and reflection. That might mean cutting back on non-essential commitments. What would be a non-essential commitment that you could cut back on, Bill?
North Cape May Christmas Parade.
Oh, no. That's a great one because it's only
West Cape May Christmas Parade.
It's like 45 minutes long. You
Wildwood
show up.
Christmas Parade.
No one goes to that.
Yeah, David loves parades.
Oh, my goodness. I love a parade. I'm sorry. I love community and being around people.
You're not around people at the North Cape May Christmas Parade. You just stand in the Walgreens parking lot.
Yeah, with my family. And then I see Caleb. Caleb leads the band.
That's true. Okay, we do see Caleb. I do go to the West Cape May Christmas Parade because I'm with people.
And he complains the whole time.
You guys can come and join us. And then I'll give you some of my coffee out of my Stanley thermos.
Oh, you can come and join us and give me a break from listening to his whining. Man, I can go and hang out with someone who's fun.
Next.
Read the gospel accounts.
I'm doing that actually. I started at Thanksgiving break, so like a week ago. I did Matthew. I'm up to Mark chapter 12. My goal is to read the New Testament before the end of the year. I'm going to read the New Testament in a month. That's my goal.
Okay. Prayer walks, number 8. Combine physical activity with spiritual reflection.
Burning off those cookies.
Yep. There we go. That's a good one. Light an Advent wreath.
There's a lot of Advent things. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, what is the Advent?
Yeah. Light an Advent wreath. I'm not letting my kids touch a lighter.
Speaking of Caleb, I was in class with Caleb's older brother, Joshua. And in 6th grade, his mom, who comes to our church, I'm going to mess it up, but it was some Swedish holiday that we were celebrating, and she wore a crown of candles on her head. And it was some Swedish tradition that she was sharing with our class, and I remember that. It was like 40 years ago, and I still remember it. I don't remember all the details, but it was really, I thought it was just, it was cool to, I remember even in 6th grade being like, oh, this is cool. It's not just Santa.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, and I love our Swedish families, but all I can think of is Dwight Schrute dressing up as Belschnickel. That's all I can think of. I don't mean that, Tori. I think it's cool that you guys have different traditions. And actually, you should ask Caleb about their traditions because they Like they do some crazy different things, like they celebrate mostly on Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
change it up. But actually, there are some cool Swedish traditions for Christmas.
Yeah, and Googie, what do we celebrate? Three Kings
Three
Day.
Kings Day,
With
yep.
Googie, that's always after Christmas.
Yep.
So we always wait 3 years later after Christmas.
Yeah, it's like normally like April 5th or something like that.
And then the last one is reflect on hope, peace, joy, and love.
Those are the Advent themes.
That's a weak answer.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Because I want that's like, oh, I gotta love God more. I gotta be nicer to my kids. No, I want specific answers. ChatGPT.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've learned again with ChatGPT is you got to be specific.
Yeah.
So you got to say things like, "Hey ChatGPT, my pastor likes these things. Help me come up with some gift ideas."
Yeah,
He's a mean playing, bass playing, knife carrying, stud,
Yep, of a man's man.
and he needs some cool gifts, not a coaster with a
Yeah.
picture of a dove on it.
Nope.
No coasters.
Oh, I hope you get 20 coasters for Christmas.
All right.
Well,
next
that was
question.
ChatGPT. That's it. That was all I had for ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I think though,
failed.
in all seriousness, though, I think that's a great question, and I think for me, I think it's reducing the distractions and keeping a mindset of being focused on Jesus. And I think having a morning devotional of reading the gospel accounts is really good. I think when you find yourself getting stressed out of like, I got to get this person a gift and this person a gift, you just go to MacomberFineArt.com and you buy a gift there. That's simple, but don't let it stress you out.
Don't let it stress you out.
Just
go to David Macomber. What is it? What's your website? MacomberFineArt.com is all you need for your Christmas needs.
But I think that's we find ourselves getting stressed out, and that's time to just pause, take some time to pray. That's Jesus says his yoke is easy, his burden is light.
Man, you're on a roll today.
Don't get stressed out.
David's giving good advice, and he's
Somebody's
given
got to.
such good advice. I'm taking the reins on this thing,
Okay.
David. All right.
All right.
So we just did our look back, our intro where we did this ChatGPT. Now we're going to look back. So David, you were there yesterday. I preached the sermon. I know what it's about.
Yeah.
How would you summarize what we talked about yesterday in the sermon?
It was, you have to go to your priest and confess.
No, you are such a sinner. What a sinner.
No, I think the thing that stood out to me yesterday, we talked about confession and how we are, we're forgiven. As a 1 John 1:9.
Yeah, 1 John 1:9. Yep.
That he is faithful and just to forgive us of all our trespasses. But we also want to keep short accounts with one another. And I think, I don't want to say with Christ, but I think with Christ, we don't want these like lingering sins. I think
He wants us to have freedom.
Yeah. And that when you have those sins that are lingering, it makes you a slave. And we don't want to be a slave to sin. And those secret sins or those sins that we are, or broken relationships that we are not reconciling, they make us a slave to sin. And Jesus called us to, an abundant life and freedom from that. So confession to one another, confession to, So I think my big takeaway was keeping a short account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, to piggyback off what David said.
Does it make you feel upset that you preach for an hour and take a long time to prepare a message and then I give you like a one sentence takeaway?
No, I don't get upset, David.
Okay, that's good.
I don't get upset at you. I get upset at personalized Bible covers. I'm selling last year's personalized Bible covers for Christmas this year. No, I think that the idea here is to remember that confession should be part of prayer. And I think there's two kind of like traps to fall into. The first trap would be to be like, well, Jesus forgave me, and so I don't need to confess to God. You know what I mean? I think that we remember that God doesn't want us to sin. When we do sin, we have an advocate. But now when we confess, it cleanses our conscience so that we can have that healthy relationship with Christ. And then the second thing would be like that false idea that that God's like mad at me until I confess and I need to go and confess. I think that we have to remember that God is quick to forgive. He's eager to forgive. He loves us. He wants to have this life-giving relationship. And the invitation to confess is so that we can have this awesome relationship with God that's healthy and vibrant and alive. It's not like an ultimatum, like, well, if you don't confess.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think we just need to keep coming back to that. It's all about that beautiful gospel.
Yep.
And just keep coming to that.
Yeah. It's good. That is definitely, I feel like yesterday's message, you could have taken it as like condemning, but it's actually a very freeing message.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone about that this morning, that it's like there's always, we love legalism as people. And so it's always going to be easy to twist anything into legalism. Like, well, Pastor Bill was talking about confession, I need to try harder. That's not really the point. I mean, yeah, like if you struggle with, pornography, then you probably should get a filter on your computer because it's wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea being that it's not about the fact you need to try harder. It's the fact that you need to keep coming to Christ instead of hiding from Christ. When we sin, the temptation is to hide. And instead of hiding, we're saying, come out into the light. Mm-hmm. Come into the light and let the light burn it off.
Yep. When you get in a fight with your wife, don't go tinker in the garage.
Yeah, you make up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. All right. Well, that's...
That was look back.
That was look back.
Looking back. And now we're looking up. And you know what, David? I want to know. We've been doing this prayer thing for a couple weeks now, right? That was the 4th week, I think, of prayer sermons. What are you chewing on over the last month? I want to get to the nucleus of David McCumber, founder and owner of McCumberFineArt.com, who's available for all your Christmas needs. I want to know, what does David McCumber, what is he chewing on as it relates to prayer?
Wow. Well, the Lord has been... I don't remember when you preached on it, but I think it was early on in the series. And I'm sorry, I don't remember all the details, but the main takeaway was seeking the presence of God in prayer. And I've been reading the last week. I've been in Zephaniah, and Zephaniah is a
classic Christmas book.
Is a very judgmental. I mean, he's furious, but the theme that I've picked up on that is repeated enough times to where I really picked up on it was he's mad at the Israelites because they're not seeking his presence. And that's just something it just keeps jumping out at me as I'm reading. I kind of reading through the passages over and over again to just kind of pick up some themes. And it's like we think about, well, God's mad because they're being disobedient. God's mad because they're worshiping false idols. God's mad because they're not taking care of the widows and orphans. Mm-hmm. All of that is listed as well. But not seeking God's presence. And I often think for myself, I want to be obedient. I want to do the right thing. I want to spend time in the Word. I want to abide. I want to learn more about who the character of God is through His Word. But seeking God's presence is something that I'm often not. It's not high up on the list, and that's been really convicting. And just kind of see, what does that look like to seek God's presence? Like, I don't want to make it like hyper spiritual, like I got to go out and sit in the woods alone and meditate. I mean, those are helpful, I'm sure, just having some quiet, but what does that look like to seek God's presence in prayer?
That's good.
So that's what I've been chewing on.
Well, I think I've been chewing on similar stuff.
You can't pick the same thing as me.
Well, I needed an idea from you because I forgot what I was doing.
Although I have been finding that a lot of what I've been reading in my own personal quiet time has been linking up like the last 3 weeks with what the sermons have been. So that's been kind of fun.
I think God's really trying to get your attention.
Yeah. Yep.
Just you. Maybe I planned this whole series just for you, all your weaknesses.
Thank you.
No, I think one of the things I've been thinking about similarly is realizing that my quiet times are stronger and more engaging in His presence if I'm deliberate. And what I mean by that is typically for years my habit was to get up, journal, read, journal, and then pray with Gina. And what I'm doing now is I'm getting up and I'm trying to begin with like, as I'm making my coffee, as I'm going outside to let the dog out. The first thing I do when I wake up is I put my earbuds in because I don't want to wake up the house. And as I'm making my coffee and as I'm going out with the dog, those first 15 minutes or so, I'm listening to
Christmas
worship music. I'm listening to worship music, but specifically worship music that isn't. I'm listening to worship music that's more like repetitive. Does that make sense? So I might listen to a song that it has like a concept, or I might listen to the same song 3 times. And it's like I'm really trying to engage my heart with worship, with this idea that the worship time is like preparing my heart to hear from God.
Oh, that's great.
So it's like by the time I go to journal, I'm not like waking up. I'm awake and I'm already in that zone. As opposed to like then otherwise sometimes it's like halfway through the time I'm reading before my brain really feels like it's focusing. And so I'm trying to do that first. Like I'm gonna spend 15 minutes, just listening to some worship music, and often will have my head down on the kitchen table and I'm just like praying and listening and praying and listening and praying and listening before I even begin doing anything else. That's been a new thing that I've been doing like the last month.
That's really cool. I like that. I feel like reading that book, Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. Remember we read that together like a year ago? There was a line in there. Was it Dallas Willard? Was that the guy he kind of quoted a lot?
Yeah.
And he said something on the lines of he starts his quiet time with the prayer of, God or Jesus, you said you'll be with me to the end of the age. So I'm here. Come and be with me. And I want to hear from you. Like that's what he starts his prayer time with, like 10 minutes of just asking God, like, speak to me. I'm just going to sit in quiet for 10 minutes. I always thought that was kind of interesting. And
yeah, I know a guy who spends the first 30 minutes of his quiet time in silence.
Wow. That's impressive. It's not me.
Not me. The first 30 seconds.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm chewing on. So you're chewing on. That's what we're chewing on. What are you guys?
What are you guys chewing on?
What you chewing on? And you know what? If you're not chewing on anything, but you got a question about prayer, let us know. You could text it to us, drop it in the chat box, so that we can respond to it next week.
Yeah, but don't ask ChatGPT for the answers. Come to a real live human.
A real live human who knows what you need to hear, because we're not just going to give you a generic response. You know what I mean?
Nope. We are going to give you a heartfelt, personal response.
Heartfelt, personal.
Yep, just like that Christmas card.
Just like that personalized Bible card.
So we're moving into the last segment. Can I take the wheel again?
Yeah, David, you do your thing. I know you got to control idolatry.
I know. I like being in charge. So we're going to look ahead. We got some announcements coming up. We got some things happening. Announcements for Revolve Church. Yeah.
It's good.
So next week's sermon, Bill, what do we got? What's coming up?
So yesterday was technically based on Our Father in Heaven. Holy is your name. That idea of like confession restores that relationship, but respects the holiness of God. And next week we're looking at Thy Kingdom Come, Thy Will Be Done. And it's really this idea of what does it mean to wait for God in prayer? What does it mean to pray for His kingdom to come? What does that even mean? And how do we live while we do that?
That's great.
Thanks. It fits in really well with Advent.
That's good. It's,
coincidentally,
I know that because of my Lego Advent calendar.
I know.
That's what it said.
And because of your Advent wreath.
Yep. My mom always gets us and the boys Advent calendars. I love it. Yeah.
You guys each get an Advent calendar? Mm-hmm. That's a baller.
Yeah. Well, the boys get like a Lego one or something like that, and then ours is usually like a chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mom knows you so well.
I know. Oh, so we get to open a present on Thanksgiving.
I like it. That's a good idea to start that season out.
Yep. Okay, so we need some teams. We need some help. We're putting out a call for help. And we have some help, but we want some more help.
That's right.
What is some of the help that we need, Billy?
I want you to picture me as Iron Man. And I come into your house and I say, Frank and Cindy.
So wait, are you
I'm Iron Man.
Like in the suit?
No.
Or are you Tony Stark?
Tony Stark.
Okay, you don't have the suit on yet.
I'm reenacting the meme. I'm thinking about putting a team together.
Okay.
2 teams, actually.
Okay.
Team number 1. Roadie crew. Okay. This is a team that I really want to assemble. And matter of fact, I have it on my calendar to chat with Jen this week about it. So you guys are like, you guys are literally, Jen's learning about it right now through this wall.
Yep.
We want to establish a roadie crew, which I'm going to establish this team. And it would be just certain people who once a month, they'd come and they would have to come to LCMR at like 8:30. They would unload the trailer. They would oversee the setup of everything. They'd be done by 9:15. Then they could join us in prayer at 9:30. And then after the service, they would be responsible to make sure everything gets cleaned up. Everything gets loaded in the trailer gets locked. And if we have enough people sign up for that, it doesn't impact with you attending the service, doesn't impact with any of that stuff, and it's a big blessing. And this is what we're realizing. There's lots of new people. There's lots of new families. There's lots of people who need prayer. And a lot of the time, the elders and leaders of the church, whether that's the elders, whether that's DG leaders, whether that's teachers, whether that's Jen, they don't have the time to interact with people because they're so busy tearing down and cleaning up. And so if we can assemble this roadie crew, it would essentially enable you're empowering the leadership to actually be available for relationship and prayer, which I think is super. There's so many people who are coming to our church, I don't even know them. And then I try to make myself available for prayer, and maybe people don't come up, and now all of a sudden I have to start tearing down and X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And so if we had a roadie crew, it would eliminate stress from other people because there'd be people who are overseeing setting up and people who are overseeing tearing down. And if we have 8 people, 2 people a week who are willing to do that, then essentially you're only coming in once a month or something like that. And you get to contribute to prayer and you don't miss any of the service. So that's team number 1.
And we do have people already who are filling those gaps, but it's not really official.
It's not official. And I would like to see it official so that it
could be a rotation.
And not just a rotation, but also so that it's like, it's completely overseen and there's multiple people who know how to do it, not 2 people who know how to do it or something like that.
Yeah. So I think you had said that, and I just want to restate it. Think about it as you're not helping set up for the service, which is what you're doing on a practical level. But on a spiritual level, you are freeing up some of the leaders to be able to provide for spiritual and prayer connection with people. And
so like the worship team gets there at 7:45 and we unload the trailer, which is normally David and I unloading the trailer most because we get there first, right? Unload the trailer. And as worship team trickles in, they'll grab something. As Jen shows up, she'll grab something. As Linda shows up, whatever it might be. But if we could just leave that trailer and the worship team could just go in, then the worship team could actually spend the first 20 minutes praying together for the service instead of being go, because we have to unload the trailer and then we have to bring stuff up the stairs, X, Y, Z. And it's the same thing with other people. And so the trailer, there's nothing in there that's needed prior to 9:15, right? And so the point is the trailer can sit there and people could come at 8:30, unload it and set up. It doesn't take a long time to unload and set up. You can do it in a half hour.
Yeah. So again,
that's team number 1.
Team number 1. So we're talking about we got some new people come in. We got some people who've been coming for a while who aren't connected. Let's get another.
Team number 2, Gina's also thinking about putting a team together. It's like Avengers 1 and Avengers 2. And this is the Connections team.
I never saw the movies. I only watched The Chosen.
That's fine. It's produced by Mormons. Anyway, so with team number 2, it's like a Connections team. And the idea is this wouldn't be a scheduled team. We're looking for people who are passionate about making sure people who are new are getting connected. So if you're the type of person who's just really friendly, you love meeting new people, and is genuinely like a passion of your heart to get people connected, if we had 8 people who felt that way, people who, for example, said, I'm going to come, before the service starts, because most visitors come early, right? And I'm going to be available. I'm going to kind of mill around the foyer. I'm going to mill around the worship center. If I see new faces, I'm going to go up. I'm going to introduce myself, exchange phone numbers. That week, I'm going to just text that person, let them know it was great to visit with them, it was great to get to know them, see if they have any questions about the church. Basically, have an intentional group that isn't just the greeters, right, who hand out, we are thankful for the greeters, but that's a different task than I want to make sure you have a lyric sheet. I want to make sure you know where you're going. These are people who are like kind of like plainclothes cops. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the foyer. Hey, Mom, Bill, how'd you guys hear about your Revolve? And you're just trying to get to know people. And then they can also be the people who follow up. So it's like, I met David. I'm going to follow up with David this week.
Yeah.
That kind of idea. Instead of a visitor getting a cold call from someone they never even talked with. It's a relational follow-up.
Yeah. Hey, this is Bob.
Right.
You're
right.
on my list of people to call this week.
Exactly. And so, again, those two things, whereas we've been having a ton of new people, but if we don't have a connection team that truly cares about them getting connected to the church, then they're gonna fall through the cracks, so to say.
So what I'm seeing here is you got people who want to kind of serve behind the scenes,
roadie crew,
and you got people who are they want to just talk to people and chit chat and make friends.
Connections team.
Boom. So it's two sides of the.
So no matter what way you're wired, maybe some of you guys, you're probably not listening to the podcast anyway, but some of you guys, you're saying, I don't really want to teach. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But I would gladly come and help set up and tear down. That's awesome. Then let us know. But specifically, I'm looking for, 4 people who would, it's like if you're the first Sunday of the month, you're going to be the go-to person. So we can give you a red T-shirt and everybody knows that's the guy you talk to.
Black T-shirt.
Black T-shirt, roadie crew. Everybody knows that's the person you talk to when you have a question about set up and tear down. So you're overseeing it. So it's off Jen's shoulders. It's off my shoulders. It's off of people like that. And it's actually a team, a real team. The same way Big Kids is a real team and nursery is a real team.
Now, the person on the connections team, did they get a T-shirt? Because we want them to be plain clothes.
No, they're plain clothes.
Maybe
Sneaky.
they could get a name tag.
Yeah, maybe like a placard.
Yeah.
Maybe like some gold bracelets.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Last announcement. We got to wind this thing up. 20 minutes was our goal. We're at like an hour and 50 right now.
Oh, my goodness. It's
so long.
Testimony class this Saturday, 9 a.m. Right now, nobody has signed up. It's going to be
Apparently
me and Steve.
No one wants to share their testimony.
It'll just be me and Steve sharing testimony back and forth. It's not too late to sign up for that. I'm going to come on Saturday, and Steve's going to come on Saturday, even if we stay here for 20 minutes and nobody shows up, and we just pray for you guys.
That's great.
But we'll be here. RSVP is great because then I can get donuts, all right? And so let us know if you're coming. You can fill out that form in the Church Center app, or you can text me and let us know. You can drop a comment, let us know you're planning on coming. But we'd encourage you guys.
And this is the time to learn to know your testimony. Like I said yesterday, you're going to be having a lot of conversations. You got a lot of Christmas parties, a lot of office parties, family parties. You're going to be at the
block parties.
You're going to be at the West Cape May Christmas parade, and the dancers are going to be dancing, and it's going to stop the parade for 40 minutes. What are you going to talk about? Bill, let me give you my testimony while we're standing here.
And we'll teach you how to not be creepy about it.
Yep. So we thank you for listening. Again, we apologize for going late, but we don't, because the more ad time we get, the more money we make from YouTube.
That's right. And how else are people going to visit macumberfineart.com if they don't hear about it?
And if you're on the email list, we are running a 30% off sale this week. So, I mean, just in case.
Well, David, it's been a pleasure.
It always is a pleasure.
I've really enjoyed spending this time with you.
Yep.
And our people.
And I'm just going to end with this. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shine. Did I sound like Michael Bublé?